We're live at the Blockchain Futurist Conference 2026, and we're here with Mir Ali. And of course, we're learning more about tokenization and how you can get into the blockchain. What's going on, man? And I appreciate you.
It's a pleasure to be here, Walter. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I had the pleasure for you to really tell me about your real estate, blockchain company, and how you're going to get people able to get into these assets more than ever.
Yeah, I'm super excited about what we have been building over the past few years. We're fortunate to have sound legal advisory from Castles to be able to launch our tokenized real estate products. We have 3 products of our own that's sponsored by Freeland. One is an income producing asset. The other one is a development. And the third product is a Sharia compliant investing product. But in addition to our products, we are also working with other developers and property owners as sponsors to be able to help them raise capital with our accredited pool of investors.
Yeah, it's amazing now that more than ever, they're building the guardrails, the bridges, the ramps for people to get into it. But no, of course, projects like yourself are going to help people get into real estate more than ever. So what's like the breakdown, how what you're building now and how people can invest in it.
Yeah, so I mean the biggest challenge that we've had to getting our product up and live is obviously the jurisdiction that I'm established in, being in Ontario, Canada. We have to be mindful and conform with our regulatory requirements, and unfortunately at this point we're getting more clarity, but we don't have the green light to say yes, you can go ahead and issue real estate ownership in a form of securities to the public. And we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, where we have the digital infrastructure in place, we have the regulatory starting to come on board, and investors are looking for more products, more transparency, and the ability to have access to institutional grade investments, whereas it would be very challenging for the average individual accredited investor to be able to embark with institutional investments on their own.
No, I love it. And the fact that now people are going to say, hey, maybe they can afford to buy the whole building.
Correct.
Now they're going to be able to put fractional amounts, So I love the way you were breaking it down. So kind of, where can people get more information to learn more about this?
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that people are looking for is liquidity, right? To be able to find these illiquid, have access to these illiquid institutional investments. They're not available to the average accredited investor. So through Freeland Capital, what we're trying to do is create a marketplace of accredited investors that will go through a KYC, AML, the full verification process, so that when we are presenting it in front of our securities exchange commissioners, there's no issues with respect to us, overlooking anything that's been done traditionally to raise capital, now that we're modernizing similar raise.
Is there anything that you think that people should be looking involved in when it comes to really learning about how this all works?
I mean, this is the biggest challenge that we've been having, is teaching people how the system works, because a lot of people think when you're investing with blockchain, meme coins, or you're investing into new native cryptocurrency coins, what we're building, we're just changing the investor experience and changing the investor structure slightly, but the underlying asset, the real estate, that doesn't change. The ownership structure of that is just being on the blockchain, and we're introducing a digital representation where you can take your phone, go through your accreditation, and once you're qualified, you can have proportionate shares of investment A, 5% shares of investment B, 10% shares of investment C. So you're actually diversifying your portfolio across multiple ventures, which is something that a lot of our clients are seeking. They're looking to hedge against their risks. They don't like to buy a single tenant building because they're like, what if that tenant leaves and now I have no income, and how am I going to pay my mortgage? But in this particular scenario, you're diversified across multiple properties and you have shares of multiple projects, so your risk is really being hedged.
No, what you guys are building is definitely going to be the reason why we're going to even get more institutions, more companies, more regular investors to get in, because now they know that there's ways to break down now currencies, right? And I love the way you guys are building, and I think that is going to be like the next biggest, leg up for us, especially in Bitcoin, Ethereum, is get people getting real estate coming in. Like once real estate comes in, it's going to be out of control, and I think it's happening in these next couple of years. So the fact that you're building that now is amazing.
Yeah.
But so if you had to choose any digital asset to build on, what would it be and why?
For me, the number one RWA might be biased, but it's commercial real estate. All hands down. I mean, it's never evolved from the closed door syndicated groups of investors that come in on the deal to more of a widespread public exposure. Obviously, you have to conform with your regulatory boards and make sure you're going after your accredited investors. But if we can create a marketplace of accredited investors, I can see a lot more appetite and demand both from the sponsor side and the investor side. And as institutional capital gets allocated towards blockchain-friendly accredited investments, I can see this kind of the beginning of many more opportunities, many more raises to be coming on the blockchain in the near future.
No, I truly believe it. We are so early. Anyone building right now or positioning themselves, especially in Bitcoin, Ethereum, other altcoins, because it's gonna rise everything. And real estate is definitely, I mean, the whole was a global like 400 trillion or something like that.
Correct.
So imagine just like 10% coming in, and I think it's gonna go higher. And I don't think people understand it. That's why, like right now, the fact that we have I think Bitcoin at this price is going to change everything, because the terminology is like, oh, how much is that real estate? Oh, 1 or 2 Bitcoin, 5 or 10 or 20, 100. But the numbers are going to get lower, like saying towards Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's going to go to a couple million. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm paying that house 1.5 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
2.8. 50 Bitcoin. I don't think people understand it, right? So I love what you're building. So where can we find you on social media or website?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you talked about Bitcoin, I just want to add on to that. With Bitcoin, the platform that we use, the investors that have an accumulated wealth of BTC, they can use their BTC directly within our platform to subscribe without having to convert it back to off-chain and then subscribe via USD or Canadian, right? We can have our investors participate in our platform by using USDT, Canadians, USD, or their Bitcoin that they have. But of course, they have to go through their source of funds qualification. They have to go through the KYCs. We need to be able to qualify the source of the revenue. That's hands-on important. Again, to learn more about Freeland Capital, please check us out at capital.freeland.com. And once again, I really appreciate you inviting me to the podcast.
I want to learn more about it. Got to get you on the show, man. Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah.